Oh, the music is a bit too loud. Let me fix that. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to this live stream. This time a day later than I planned to do it, my apologies, but at least we're using this Saturday to have a little bit of some animation fun here in this live stream. I'm gonna animate some more on this animation that we started with the wizard kitty. Beware, there's some flickering in a second. And yeah, there's some in-betweens that we still have to draw, but all in all, I think it's coming together quite nicely. And yeah, slowly but steady, we have to keep working on this to get this done. But I think it's going to be a very lovely animation. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working on it a little bit more today, answer your questions about art and animation and freelancing and whatever comes to mind in the chat. And yeah, let me see if everything is working here. I still need to do a couple of clicks to set this up. Alright, yeah, I don't see your YouTube comments yet. I can play it one more time to bridge this. And yeah, just a couple of setup clicks here, and then I can see your wonderful comments. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's turning out pretty cute, the wizard cat. And I think we have our work cut out here. There's still this part that was flickering because we have to do some in-betweens. I'm really looking forward to the particles that we're gonna have here. Like, this is gonna be so awesome when we get to it. And I'm actually very interested in like this reveal of the particles like going away and revealing the milk. That's gonna be a fun animation to do. But for now, let's just try to get through this motion here of the cat leaning forward and work on that. Yeah. So last time we already started a little bit on that, and we kind of got distracted by this arm because this arm is moving throughout the entire time, while the rest is doing other stuff, like where the left hand is going up into the air first and, you know, reaching a high point. If you see the left arm, it's reaching a high point here, and then going down, while the right arm here is having a continuous motion. And that was a little bit of work to have that split up, but I think we did an okay job with that. All right. So now we're gonna fit some more frames in here. Hello, F2005. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. And we're gonna switch on some onion skin. I think if we switch to that other. Yeah, I do have some annotations on the side as to which kind of frames these are, so that's gonna help us a little bit to refine this. Oh, and I should probably also post on social media that we are live, so maybe some more people are joining us today, and we have some nice questions and conversations to do about art and animation. That would be really nice. So I'm just gonna send the social media post. Alright, so maybe some people who want to come over can still come over. Tales of an Introvert asks, how many animators are on here? You mean on Animator Island? How many people contribute to Animator Island. It varies. At the moment, I'm doing most of the stuff here, but we occasionally have guest animators. And JK, who co-founded Animator Island, he's popping in every now and then too, to contribute some more content and to have some fun live streams with him. We had a very nice live stream, I wouldn't say recently, it was a couple months ago, where we looked at the animation of what was it called? That DreamWorks movie with the bad guys. That was a really fun live stream. Okay, so let's have a look. We have the hand here peaking, being at its highest position. Hi Vivek, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So we're easing into this. Actually, we're easing into a bunch of those. We're easing into the face and into the arm. The only thing that we're not easing into is into that hand. We already took care of that hand. So we're gonna do the rest here. I really hope that the live streaming today is working a little better with the CPU. Oh no, the CPU is spiking again to 100%. I need to think about a new workflow if I want to keep doing stuff in OpenToonz. I've seen that, you know, there are some streamers who stream, like the computer that they use for sending the stream is not the same as the one that they are working on. So you have all the resources that you need on that one computer, and you don't run into like resource problems as far as the stream is concerned. Hello, Vinicius. Nice to see you. Hey, Tales of an Introvert from Kenya. Let's put that on the screen here. Tales of an Introvert says, I'm from Kenya and I would like to do animation, but up until now I've only done art on paper. Well, that's already a great start if you are, if you know how to draw. For 2D animation, that is really important. You don't necessarily need it for 3D animation, but you know, it can never hurt to be able to draw well. Yes, for the next steps, I can really recommend our 2D animation class. If you want to check that out, you can go to animatorisland.com/2D. This is where we have our 2D animation class. There's also a playlist on YouTube, and actually today a video came out about timing in animation. But you might want to start with the first video. That would probably be best. So let's draw that ease in here real quick. I'm gonna answer some more questions in just a second. I just have somebody check the stream. Oh, the music is cutting off. Why is the music cutting off? Hope it's coming back. Okay, so we're easing into this here. Into this face shape. Now, please people let me know if this stream is getting unbearably laggy, because, you know, I noticed unfortunately that this sometimes happens while I draw lines in OpenToonz. So far it's not throwing a warning, which keeps me hopeful that maybe today we're getting through this. We're putting smoothing. Maybe if you cut smoothing off, does that have any impact? Now I have to make better lines. I have to do better line quality, but maybe that helps the performance. We'll see. And the ears should be lagging behind a little bit from coming over. I think that could work pretty well. F2005 asked, do you enjoy watching animation from the internet? If so, which ones? Let me see. I mean, of course, I love, like, whenever I find a good animation film on YouTube, little short film or something, or new creator who has a lot of short films, I'm so happy about it. Recently I'm very much into the animations of, what is his name? Kevin Tummer? Let's have a look if I can find it. Kevin Tammer. YouTube. Let's check. I mean, I have been like I do like some Jaden animation for some good storytelling, story time animation and stuff like that. The odd ones out, of course. Those are big YouTubers. I loved Ed's World, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not completely up to date with the YouTube scene. Kevin Tammer is his name. Oh no, I don't want to play his stuff. Yeah, Kevin Tammer, I can really recommend him. He's doing awesome stuff in 3D. Always fun. He does musicals, whole musicals. It's unbelievable to me how he does that. How, as a single person, you manage to do an entire little musical scene in 3D. I'm at least gonna stream for an hour of Initius, I think. Yeah, I usually stream around 1 to 2 hours. But we see how much it is today. Surya asks how to add reference images in OpenToonz. If you have an image file, you can just drag and drop it into OpenToonz. That should work with no problem, and it should ask you if you want to like import. If you want to import the image, or if it should be left at the location that it initially was, and yeah, you can usually safely import it, and then you have the reference image on one layer in OpenToonz. Just drag and drop it into the scene. Okay, we have to smooth the lines a little bit. Tales of an Introvert says 2D animation attracts me the most. I hear you. I love 2D animation. It's my favorite kind of animation as well. So yeah, check out our 2D class and see if that already helps you. That would be awesome. So now we are on the ease. We had a little dip down here in the hand. The hand is dipping down while the head is going up. A little bit of an anticipation here. And now we're easing out into the up position. Let's see how that will work. In the body frame here. And going up. And one animation series that I can recommend on Netflix, just because it's on my mind right now, it's Agretzko. I really love that series, and especially the storytelling and how it tells relationships. I think that was really unique, and how it has like its own kind of symbolism Really love Agretzko. Hey, Ice Cream Hero, nice to see you. How are you today? Alright, okay, and all the facial features have to come over. Vivek asks, which anime do you love the most and why? Yeah, I have to admit that I'm not that up to date with anime series, like television. I'm a big fan of the Hayao Miyazaki films, of course, where, you know, the animation quality always is unbelievable. I always come back to Spirited Away, and everything around the dragon is so crazy good. When he's in the building with the paper things, with the paper people chasing him, like unbelievable animation and cinematography. But you know, throughout the entire movie, Spirited Away, I really love it. Yeah, I just mentioned Agretzko, which is, you know, more of a chibi style anime, and I think I especially like it because of the exaggeration and the symbolism in it, and the relationships that they have there. There's, you know, no fighting scenes, or I mean, sometimes they exaggerate mundane things into fighting scene like shots, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, let's cross out this intersection here. There's this awesome eraser that we can use, the segment eraser, and then it's gonna take care of that segment that is protruding here. That's pretty cool. I think the last anime series I watched was Assassination Classroom, which is so outlandish and crazy. But yeah, somehow I love that very much, and that's why I watched it all the way to the end. And it also has some insane animation, especially towards the end. Ice Cream Hero shares their favorite Sakuga scene. Okay. I'm gonna throw it up on the screen for people who know what they are talking about. I have no idea. But I should check it out, definitely. Okay, Foolish QG has an important question. As a newbie animator that wants a fan base, should I work on more long story driven animations or tiny random shorts? And F2005 is already giving the answer. I would say shorter cartoons or music. Yeah, I mean, nowadays the social media algorithms are obviously preferring quantity, so maybe I should like stop animating for a second so I can actually think and answer. So yeah, if I would start out again as an animator, in effect, I think I will try a similar strategy maybe in a couple months. Is I think little animations, little clips are the way to go on TikTok, on Instagram. That is what is getting shared. That is what is generating attention. And if you want to segue into long form content, I think what you can do is have a fixed cast of characters, like have the same 5 to 10 maybe characters that always reappear, and after a while you could give hints for like a larger story unfolding, but it's still like a self-contained joke, like it's still a 15 to 30 second little scene and joke, and then you can open it up more and more to, oh, there's something developing over time. I think that as an independent animator who wants to do storytelling, that's probably the best way to build a fan base. yeah, you might also, if you want to tell a bigger story, you might want to consider doing a comic strip or cartoons, because it is easier to produce comics than it is to produce animation. It's a lot more work to make a long animation than a long comic, and comics could also be published page by page periodically. So that's also F 2005. Maybe animate over audio of a video. That's like, there are competitions like the 11-second club, but if you think about the whole concept of TikTok is that you take a voice snippet or music that is trending, and if you animate something fun on top of that, that would be a good way to generate exposure and followers, certainly. All right, how to rig animation. Well, it depends on what kind of rig you want. There's hierarchy rigging, where you have basically just snippets of your character, like collage parts of your character, and you put it in a hierarchy with rotation points. Then you don't even need bones or something like that. And that's something you can do in a bunch of software, in OpenToonz and Harmony. A lot of software can also work with bones and deformation. Like for 2D, if you're thinking about 2D, I can really recommend Moho. Moho is a great tool for rigging 2D animation, and has a bunch of different techniques. You can distort part of your image, you can bind vector points to bones and rig it that way. You can move entire layers with your bones. Moho basically has it all. And it also has a thing where like the Vitruvian bones, where you can change the position of the bones, and depending on what positions the bones are in, it chooses different images. It's really cool. Moho for 2D animation is something you might want to check out. Harmony is great. Also has a lot of great stuff. Is a bit expensive. It's on the expensive side of things if you get the premium version with all the functionality. But it's a very powerful tool. Used in the industry. Tales of an Introvert. I'm not sure I understand your question. How hard is it to do that scene where Black Noir talks to his imaginary animated friends? Is that still from one of the animes? I might not be up to date on that. I'm sorry. Ghoulish Cutie. Maybe I start a comic. Yeah, it's... And, the crowd, I think, overlaps. Like, the crowd who enjoys a good comic strip, I think a lot of those people also enjoy when they find out that scenes of that comic have been animated. Or, maybe you can also do both. A longer comic with the characters that is a longer story, and short animation. Vinicius is heading out to buy some bread. Yeah, do that. Good luck with that. Come back soon to catch you streaming. Yeah, I'll hopefully still be there. Depending on where you get the bread from. How far away is it? Okay, let's go back to our animation here. Yeah, also a good point. Mangas are also converted into anime. That's how that goes sometimes. Sumanta's back here again too. Hello. Yeah, I didn't go live yesterday because I was working on publishing a tutorial that is out now. By the way, have you all seen it on the channel right now? There's another video about timing where I walk you through my timing process for the bouncing monster. I've been working on this thing for months and redoing it. It was part of that other timing tutorial that I did 2 weeks ago. I'm really happy about these tutorials. I think they really show the timing process that I love, a workflow method that I love in a very condensed shape. So if you're interested, if you're learning animation, if you want to know more tips and tricks about how to do timing, you might want to check out the latest 2 videos on this channel. And yeah, the latest one premiered today, so I'm very happy about that. Ah, Ice Cream Hero. Now you're speaking more of my language in comics and comic strips. What comic strips is your favorite? I love Peanuts and Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes is, oh my god, is one of my favorite comic strips. I love the combination. Like, first of all, that gorgeous art style. This artist, he's the master of the ink line. It's so crazy good. And then the content, you know, the philosophical, silly, like, it's a crazy mix. Calvin and Hobbes is so great. I've actually grown up with the Franco-Belgian comics, like Spiro and Fantasio, and Asterix and Obelix. And there's, like, from Francoin, he did Gaston, which is an office worker. It's like a office working comic strip, but he's also an inventor and very, very clumsy and silly kind of person. I love those comic strips a lot. I think they're not that big in the US, but in Europe they are pretty big. And the Duck comics, like the Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck comics, Carl Barks and Don Rosa. I love those comics. And, you know, there's also, it's so weird, like, you know, Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck, you might think they publish all the comics that they publish in Europe also in the US, because it's Walt Disney's Donald Duck and Walt Disney's Scrooge. But there's like a whole Italian and Danish Scandinavian comic scene where they publish duck comics that never reach the US. And yeah, I grew up on those comics, really. And, you know, some of them are really epic, like especially by Don Rosa. He's like one of my favorite comic artists of all time, especially for the storytelling. He tells these long, historically accurate, like, he's doing such an immense amount of research to send Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck on, like, on the trails of, like, historically accurate treasures and happenings in history and stuff like that. And I absolutely love it. So yeah, those Duck comics are my jam. Syria said, I tried to draw with a mouse and it's very hard. I don't have a tablet. Any tips to draw with a mouse or a setting that I have to change? Well, drawing with the mouse is nothing that you should do in the long term, but, you know, if we stay in OpenToonz right now, right here, there are ways on how you can do that. I think it's in the shape tool. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, so let's have a look. There is, I think it's in the geometric tool. In the geometric tool, you can switch that to multi-arc. Is that how they call it now? Yeah, there's, like, you know, with the multi-arc tool, you can make shapes and stuff. That might be a way to draw with the mouse if you absolutely have to. But there's also I think there's a freehand tool somewhere. Let me think. Like, there are some films that are actually drawn this way, where you stay in the vector, tools, and you just draw with the vector tools with the mouse. I was in a production like this, the Patchwork Pals, where we designed all the lines very carefully. It's not multi-arc. Polyline is what I was looking for. Because with the polyline tool, let's say we want to design a... it's in the geometric tool, polyline. Let's say we want to design a rocket or something. Then we could do that by just with the mouse clicking. And if you click and drag, you get these tangent handles. If you hold Alt, I think. No, you can't. You can't break them while you draw them. Okay, so we have that one here and this one here, and then I still need to go in with the control point editor tool here. And then I can go in, this is on a vector layer, and then I can go and change the lines. And this is the best way to draw with a mouse. And then with Alt, you can break the tangents, and you know, we can start designing our rocket ships. This is basically how you would like design in a vector program like Adobe Illustrator, for example. Toon Boom has Toon Boom. Harmony has this too, but OpenToonz has this as well. So and as you can see, you can get pretty far with it. One technique is to also make everything squarish, and then later tweak it with the control point editor tool. Later you go in and click and drag the points. I'm only using my mouse right now. So I want to turn this into, with Alt, I want to turn this into a curve. Why is it not connect? Now it is connecting. Yeah, and so piece by piece, you could build your drawings. This is the best way I know to create art with using the mouse only. But what F2005 said, investing in a tablet might be worth it. It doesn't really matter what brand. It's still night and day compared to a mouse. Yeah, only with a drawing tablet you will get the feeling similar to drawing on paper. It's if you are serious about learning animation, if you already know that you're gonna, or just digital art, that you're gonna do digital art, the money you invest in a tablet is very well invested money. And it doesn't have to be a big tablet, like even a small tablet like this. Observe yourself when you draw. When you draw, like, especially people who go to art school and learn from an artist, they sometimes learn to draw big and with, you know, with big swoops and stuff like that. But generally, most people, especially self-taught people, we draw very small. We have like this corner of a paper where we draw and scribble. That might be an indication that you would be fine with a very small drawing tablet, you know. And for 40-50 bucks, you can get very good affordable tablets, like from XP Pen or Huion. You don't need to buy a Wacom tablet. Wacom tablets are expensive. They are pretty good, but you know, the competition is not sleeping either. There's some great products there. Hello Hilly, nice to see you. How are you doing? Okay, so where were we? Will this animation ever end? I don't know. But, I mean, I do enjoy talking to you guys. This is more... The reason why I live stream is more so that we can have a conversation and less that I can get this animation finished. Okay, so we're easing out of this high position of the hand, and we're easing out of the low position of the head. We just talked about using the mouse. If you just entered, you might want to rewind the stream like 2 or 3 minutes. We just talked about using the mouse for drawing. It is possible using a certain vector style, like vector tools. It is possible to draw with the mouse, but generally I would recommend getting a tablet, you know, for that real drawing feeling. Vivek says, animators, while practicing gesture drawing, try to use 6B pencils. It increases confidence. Believe it. Yeah, that's so. Honestly, I love soft pencils. I love dark pencils, like 4B, 5B, 6B. The darker, the better. I love that. What is it? He's out. Okay. And he's out. So we're coming from the red lines. We have to favor the red lines. Let's have let's have the hand already unfolding the fingers. What's going on here with the... That sleeve is not at all accurate. We might have to improve that later. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. So, okay, our shape is very close to here, coming out of there. Maybe we can nudge it a little further down. Here. Let's go into the curve editor, see what we can do. That's a very clean curve. I think that smooth setting is working in our favor quite well. Alright. Hilly has a recommendation, Huion tablets. I saw the comments about the tablets. I did get a Huion tablet a year ago for my laptop. It's pretty solid. That's good to know. I was also thinking I should, like, you know, I do have tablets for my main computer here, but I was also thinking getting a really small one for on the go for my laptop. I was looking at the XP Pen and Huion stuff, and yeah, they do have pretty good products and pretty good prices. I was really surprised, especially when you compare it to what a Wacom tablet costs. Okay, so we're still favoring the red lines here. Getting the hat up here. Alright. The volumes are... this is not my best work. But I also think it's not gonna matter that much. Especially because if it is, you know, in the middle of a motion, it's generally not that big of a deal. And you know, living lines, it's all, you know, it's a style, it's animation style, you know. Whatever we're getting wrong here, it's a charm, you know, it's charming. Ellie says, still have a Cintiq on my desktop. That thing is like 10 years old and still running. That's great to hear that those things last 10 years. I'm getting worried about mine. I have one in front of me right now. And it's already 5 years old. And I'm already like, you know, there's no more warranty. And a lot of things that you buy break right when the warranty is over. So I hope it's gonna be good for another couple of years. For another 5 years would be awesome, because that thing was quite an investment. But even then, like I was surprised how affordable like the Huion and XP-Pen products are that try to be like the Cintiq. And you know, some reviews people even liked stuff more in the XP-Pen displays. I also actually, while you know, a couple months back when I was barely posting anything on Animator Island, I was actually contacted by XP-Pen if I wanted to test some of their products, and back then I declined because I didn't really have content to go up on the channel. But you know, maybe they will send me one if I ask, and then I can give you guys a review and a comparison, and I will try to get my hands on a Huion tablet too, and then maybe I can make a little comparison. Because I am very curious. I am very curious to see how close the tablets actually are and where they fall short. And it's always like, this annoys me about like art supplies, that a lot of the times you can't test art supplies, you can't test special equipment for artists. When I was looking for a laptop, what is going? Oh, this no longer has the scarf. We kind of need that. So that's kind of annoying me about special equipment and art supplies. Like the famous stuff you can try. Like by now there are stores that have the Copic markers, for example. Like that's a thing that over the last 5 years is something that you can go into an art supply store and actually try Copic markers there and see if you like it. But like for the off-brand stuff or for the new developments, it takes like ages until you can try a piece of equipment somewhere in a store. Where I'm like, you know, like of course, you know, it's so sad that all the stores are closing, and you know everything is taken over by the internet. But you know, if in a store I cannot test Wacom products next to XP-Pen, next to Huion, I cannot test the different drawing tablets. I have to read reviews in the internet and believe what they say, you know. And I think that's quite annoying. Like I wish I could go to a store and just test all the different tablets that there are out there. I think the arm should probably already be at the upper arm should probably be a lot further here. Yeah, and I hear too, like, you know, Huion and XP-Pen are comparable, and you know, even when you compare them to Wacom products, like some Huion and XP-Pen products are also super close to the Wacom stuff. But then I feel like it's even more critical that you might want to test it to just see, like, you know, personally, which pen feels better in your hand. You know, that's something that a reviewer in the internet cannot answer for individual people with bigger hands, smaller hands, stuff like that. So that's my pet peeve with the art supply and the special equipment. Hi there, Adachi. Nice to see you. Yeah, exactly. It's not like there's a brick and mortar specialty store for them, which, you know, and I can understand that in most cities that probably doesn't make sense. But like in Cologne or like, you know, big city, I don't know. Maybe I have to open one up. Like, you know, what is all this complaining? I should do something about it. Yeah, sure. Adagi says, I think you're talking about components, pen displays, and such that are not as popular as iPhones or game things, so stores don't usually have them. Yeah, of course, that is the big problem with it. Although I would argue, if you think about it, how common it is to buy pencils, and even good pencils, like, you know, expensive pencils and watercolor pencils and expensive paper and stuff. A lot of stores have that. And nowadays, most of art, or a lot of art, a whole branch of art is digital. I think digital painting and stuff should be taught in school. I mean, it's important that kids get to experience watercolor and maybe even oil color and stuff like that. Like, yeah, super expensive, super you know, expand your knowledge in all directions. But if you're doing an art career nowadays, watercolor and oil, great. You know, there are some people who have good luck with this and they become artists and work with oil colors and whatnot. But isn't it more likely that people gonna use digital painting tools, digital equipment to paint, to become designers? Like, if you think about what path is more likely after school, that you become an oil painter or that you become a designer using drawing tablets and stuff like that. You know, even if it's web design, even if it's like, you know, there's a market for a bunch of jobs. Most creative jobs, I would say, like even photographers use Wacom tablets to draw masks and stuff. I think learning digital art in school with good equipment, with good pen tablets, shouldn't be rare. And I think, you know, even a MediaMarkt, or, you know, in Germany, that's the store. MediaMarkt and Saturn are the technology stores. Why not have two frickin' tablets in your store? It's not like you're running out of space there. Okay, I went on a little bit of a rant here. Yeah, and then exactly, all art schools still stick to old medias, which, I mean, on the one hand side, it's good to conserve that, I think, because, you know, we should work more analog again, and it's important that there are people who know how to do this masterfully and stuff like that. But yeah, I have to say though, like, fortunately, in some art schools, they do have animation programs now, which I think is pretty cool that they do that. And yeah, you know, there's something about the old medias. Adashi says, I still love my old pencils. Yeah, there's something about that pencil feeling that, you know, you don't get that with digital art. You don't get 100% CPU spike with your digital art. I have to confess, though, that nowadays when I pick up a pencil and I do something with a pencil, I sometimes look for the undo button. Sometimes my hand is like twitching to search for Control Z, and I'm like, no, oh no, you are in front of a piece of paper here. What's gotten into you? Okay, I can't see anything anymore. Oh, I do like the sweeping hand. I think it's gonna, you know, whatever happened to this hand, oh my god, we should repair it at least a little bit. At least a little bit. That's the cool thing about Vector. There are no witnesses to how sloppy my lines were just a second ago. No witnesses, no one saw it, right? Making it a lot smoother. This feels better. Oh, what is going on here? Let me, yeah. Hey. What's up with that tangent, please? I don't know. Good enough. Let's go for good enough. Really, that's also great. I sometimes catch myself trying to do the Procreate zoom in. Isn't it crazy how we get used to this? And how the brain is like, oh, that one thing with the surface can do that. Why can't the other thing with the surface not do that? Or E to erase. Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens. Oh, let's use the pump tool here. I love the pump tool to make the lines a little thicker, make the layer lines look like the other lines. Oh, no, pump tool. Don't go crazy. Whoa. What's going on here? Okay, I think now it looks more like the other lines. All right. Are you entering the 11-second club contest this month? I'm not entering, but I'm gonna do a review, like the critiquing that we sometimes do. I'm gonna do the critiquing probably next week, right? What date is next week? Next Friday is the 5th, which is, I think, when voting ends. So we might be voting, we might be already reviewing. No, by then, by the 5th, I think we're still voting. So yeah, anyway, next live stream is probably gonna be the one where we look at the 11-second club. I don't know. Sometimes on the 4th and the 5th, when, you know, they change from voting to announcing who won, the site is a little bit glitchy. So we will see, depending on how glitchy the 11-second club website is, we're going to do the animation critiques of the 11-second club either on the 5th or on the 12th, beginning at the month. All right. Okay, pump tool. We no longer need the pump tool. But what we need is... I don't like this whole situation with the body here. We need to figure out the body motion and then stick with it. Let's do the neck. The little scarf here, because I think the body needs to be completely still fairly early. It's coming up here. So yeah, this is the ease in. And this answers the whole position thing, so, you know, everything needs to slide over a bit. Oh, what am I grateful for, Vector? So everything feels connected. Slapstick cartoons I enjoy. I mean, like from the web or something? I do like me some ASDF movie. I love that crazy silly stuff. Cyanide and Happiness, although I haven't watched anything from them in a while. I was pleasantly surprised there was this I'm starting to talk again about something that I don't know the name of. I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably think to myself, what was that name of that show? And then when it comes to my mind, then I should start talking. I was thinking about this Netflix animation that was interactive. The Cat Burglar. Yeah, The Cat Burglar on Netflix. It's a Tom and Jerry style slapstick kinda animation, but it has been done recently, and it uses the interactive features of Netflix, where you can answer quiz questions, and depending on how you answer it, the whole thing progresses differently. Cat Burglar on Netflix really surprised me. And it's really worth exploring all the options, answering questions right and wrong, because it's just so hilarious to see all the different things that they animated, that they put a lot of work into animating. Yeah, Cat Burglar on Netflix was a recent slapstick cartoon that surprised me. All right. So, there's a thing that I wanted to mention. If you enjoy the stuff that I'm doing, the live streams and the videos, just today a video came out. If you haven't seen it, and if you're interested in timing, it's a walkthrough through how I do timing, very condensed, very to the point. For the bouncing monster. It took me a lot of work to make this tutorial. I really enjoy it, and if you're learning about animation, if you want to learn more about timing, please check that one out. And if you want me to make more tutorials and live streams like this, you might want to consider donating something on Patreon. Patreon.com/animatorisland, and every contribution is greatly appreciated and helps me to make more content. There also is the group mentoring. We have these monthly meetings where you can bring whatever you're currently working on. It could be an animation, an animatic, a story idea, just a concept, just a character design, and it's a group call, and I will annotate, draw over it, give you tips and tricks on how to improve it, so that not only this specific project gets better, but also your art skills in general. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, you might want to check that out. animatorisland.com/group mentoring. Yeah, and it's also really cool to have like an appointment every month, a deadline to which you have to finish an exercise or a shot of your short film that you're working on or something like that. Yeah, so that's the group mentoring. And yeah, I need a short break to get some fresh water and air out the room a little bit. It's so hot in here. But I'll be back in just a little bit, and then we continue our animation of that wizard kitty here. All right, see you in a couple of minutes. right, and we're back. Back in action, jumping back into the animation. Or actually, your questions. Let's see what's going on here. Syria, do you watch Japanese anime? As I have shown today, no, not really, not that much. Maybe I should get into it more, so if anyone has any suggestions. I know it doesn't really count, but I did watch Avatar a lot. I really like that series, but I know it's a US version of an anime. Yeah, the lamp in the background. Yeah, I love it. It was a gift from my family. A really cool lamp. Hi, it's Veer. Was there... Oh yeah, there was a question. Kirito, do you use Blender? Not as much anymore, but I would like to get back into it. We're gonna do more 3D animation on this channel, and when we do, we're gonna do more Blender here, which I'm personally very looking forward to. I think I'm always amazed by how Blender develops and the new features that it can do and all these good things. So, yeah, can't wait to get into that, but for now, we're stuck with some 2D animation here. Oh yeah, this is one that I really need to change, for it to connect here. Alright. Having the overshoot here. Okay. Let's flip through it. I feel like, you know, flipping through things can always help to see things a bit more clearly. Yeah, I think this is working now. There is this one here, which I don't really like. Let's see how that looks. This is just too extreme. Let's see the ones that they are before and after, and have a very boring breakdown. It's not gonna draw too much attention anyway, because, you know, you're gonna see mostly his hand. Yeah, talking about his hand, this should probably be... The hand should probably have been the thing that we should have animated from the very beginning. Because, you know, it's the focus point of it all. So... Yeah, it will kinda be the element that the audience will look at last, so let's work on this for now. And there's also the question of how the cloth reacts, you know? Cloth is slowly coming down. Oh, we're doing some rapid animation here. I really like it when we can go through an element with relatively fast speed. And yeah. Let's see if that is sufficiently... Yeah, I think it is. Could be a bit snappier, huh? Vinicius is back. with the bread. You know what? Let's throw away everything that we have of the sleeve and think more about how that could work. That could be really cool. You know, this one should probably also be different. All right, so we can have a little bit of an ease frame here, I guess. But then mostly the interesting thing should happen here, where, you know, there should be a really large spacing of the sleeve coming down. It's already pretty far down here. So let's just keep this exactly where it is. Like, it still has to react to it. The hand already goes down and the sleeve is not even reacting to it. It's just frozen into place. Thank you, Vinicius. So this is just frozen into place here. There's not much we can do here. You know what? Let's put this a little lower. And we have to change the animation later here too. Actually, not that much. Yeah, okay, this works. Alright, so we have this further to the floor now. Yeah, that is much better. That could work much better. Okay, so it's going down. It's starting to ease. Starting to ease, coming down. And now this is the important in-between one. That should be really selling it, and then it comes down, then it just drops down. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Look at that heavy sleeve. It could be even better, there could be much more of a delay. But I think it's okay. Vinicius asks, animating different layers would not be easier, the hand and the sleeve. Yeah, that could be an approach, certainly. Let me think. Like, I probably animate too much on the same layer, you're absolutely right. I do like animating on one layer when it comes to coloring later. Because, you know, then you can tackle all color problems at once and you don't have to always switch the layer. But there are a lot of benefits to animating on different layers, which, you know, and later we have the moment where he's bending over the football. And we have to put his other arm on another layer because the milk bowl will be in between. So for this moment, I have to animate on different layers. But yeah, it could. There is, especially because you can then really tweak the motion for the arm and the hand until you're really satisfied, and you're not dragging down all the other layers. Sometimes the danger is that it could feel all a bit disconnected, but honestly, you know, with the focus to single detail we're doing right now, we might as well have done it all on different layer. Yeah, you can put everything on different layer. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I would suggest having a very rough animation on the same layer so you can feel how everything is connected, because that's an important thing, that when you draw it for the first time, you need to feel how the arms are connected, how the energy's flowing through the shoulders into the arms, and you only really get that when you do lines that go through the whole body, when you have a line that goes from the leg up into the body. Like those kind of things you have to do on the same layer, the rough animation where you feel how everything is connected. But for the cleanup, yeah, it makes sense to do it all on separate layers, and you know, it also offers a bunch of compositing possibilities later when you put like shadow effects and light effects on it. Then it's also good to have it all on separate layers. So yeah, we should definitely also on this live stream look more into doing stuff on different layers. Let's get rid of this rocket ship that we have here right now. Okay, so I think we fixed the arm situation now sufficiently. And this is just going to be a trace for the face. We don't want the face to be moving much anymore. We want to be done with this animation. We want to have a little bit of an overlap. We want the hand should be the last thing that moves, so that it really drags that attention there. All right, and I think it's gonna be a big step for this animation when we have this part of it done. We're nearing our goal to make this complete. So okay. This is a lot of work for just a frame that we want to hold, just to trace it again. You know what we could also try? Since this is vector, let's go here. Let's copy that ear, paste it, and then let's mess it up a bit. Let's make it a little off here, maybe delete some points, maybe have it here. This is this less work than redrawing it? I don't know exactly, but let's try see how that feels. If we copy all of this, copy it here, paste it, and now let's just mess up the lines a little bit, make them a little wiggly. I wonder if the eye will perceive this. I mean, there are a couple landmarks that our brain can probably identify as it being the same. So let's make the line the right kind of jittery. I've never tried to make living lines like this by faking it instead of redrawing. So I don't know exactly how this is gonna work. But I think if it does work, I'm onto something here. Maybe an automatic line jitter. Maybe OpenToonz could do that for us one day. Alright, so It does read as a line wiggle. It doesn't. Oh my god. And I think it might be less work than redrawing the lines. We just copied them. We just copied them and messed them up. Actually, this should also be pretty close. I wonder if there is a function that can do that, like a little bit of a a little bit of a line jitter in here. Let's copy that again. Paste it. Let's try something else. Let's try adding points. Okay, I mean, this is pretty clearly the same drawing. This is a very stupid kind of work, making line wiggles by wiggling lines, literally, with the vector tool. Like, that might be one of the weirdest things that I've ever done to make a line live. But it might give us that feeling that we are looking for. Oh, I can just go in the middle somewhere and mess up the lines there. I don't know if this is worth it. And you know, we might have a slight ease in, since we're already touching those lines anyway. We might change something in a way that makes sense. Makes sense somehow. All right. Okay. Did we do enough? I don't know. Let's see. So the last 3 images here are just me wiggling the vector lines. It works! And it's still so snappy. Oh, I love his little kitty whiskers at the side. We might wanna lean into that a little more. I don't think the payoff is really worth it. But if we could automate it somehow, if we could make OpenToonz do the wiggle for us, I think that would be pretty cool. There's like Moho can do that. Moho can make vector lines wiggle. After Effects has some wiggle effects and stuff like that, but you know, After Effects is always it's always a bit too, you have to wiggle the entire picture all the time, or it gets very complicated to set up. But let's have this these hairs point back a little bit. I think that's gonna be a nice little detail. And you know, in this case, it's actually worth doing that. I think that's gonna be a nice little touch. Yes, do you see that? Just look at his cheek. Oh, I love that. So fluffy. It has a little bit of this Maine Coon fluff, I feel like, that I want to bring into there. Sweet. I'm happy about this. Alright, what lines did we forget about? I am being a little bit sloppy here, forgetting lines that I should draw. So I draw them now. Okay, so here this is probably the moment where the foot is being dragged over. There should be the ease right before. This should be the ease here. And yeah, this is kind of working, I think. Ah. Blender also has a noise modifier for line wiggle. Okay. Yeah, I really need to get into Blender. Then I'm gonna feel right at home there. Just using a noise wiggler. Well, it's actually really hard with like procedural noise to find the right setting, because if you overdo it, it's gonna look very wrong. Like artificial line wiggling is a tricky thing to set up, and there's some styles where it works fairly quickly, and some and sometimes you tweak forever with the line wiggler, and it just won't look right. Oh, I love that little dip down. Yeah, and I do like the little overlap of the head arriving first. Still not very happy with the left sleeve. It shrinks. But it has to shrink, otherwise it will drag on the ground. And that won't look that great. Not so happy with that. But I think overall, like the big things that I wanted to do, I wanted the head to feel very snappy. I think we did achieve that. And the left hand is certainly dragging the attention. It's the last thing you're looking at, so that works in that regard. Ah, Ice Cream Hero mentioning the newer peanut specials again. Yeah. That definitely is a good place for the line wiggle. I think, weren't there also some Charlie Brown cartoons that were a bit too sterile, a bit too clean? Oh boy, we have a spammer here. Let's see. Hide user. And report, I guess. All right. Yeah, now people write something in the chat to get rid of that spammer. Here, it's still on my stream page. Is that fun? My streams are getting bigger, so streamers are coming. Spammers are coming to the stream. Ah, boy. Oh yeah, Ice Cream Hero, line wiggling, Ed and Eddie. Yeah. Oh boy, I really like have to look at these Peanuts specials that you mentioned. I always like, I did love the Peanut movie, the 3D one. I thought it was surprisingly good. So there is some surprisingly good modern Peanut content. Gotta check it out. That spammer really threw me. Like, why do people do this? Like, it's so annoying. Like, and does anyone really click on it? Like, if you're watching a stream about art and animation, are you really like, oh, there's somebody posting a link to a dating site? Yeah, I should check out that dating site. Like, are those spammers successful? Like, does it work? It's, I don't know. But I mean, you know, it must have some effect, and some people might go on these sites and stuff, and that's why they do it. Yes, I'm from Germany. That is correct. It's actually getting fairly late here now. Like, with that sleeve, I should have planned more how big the sleeve is and what the sleeve does when it reaches the ground. Because, you know, here it already is on the ground, and then it's pretty much the same length. Maybe we can tweak it a little more. Rip. See about that. Yeah, those bots. Nobody click on it. Exactly. When I hope I already hid it for you all, you should no longer be able to see that. Those messages in the actual live chat. So okay, now we have it go to the really bottom. Can't go any lower than that. It should have a little more of an impact. That might actually be good. That might be really good. Can I select multiple? Should be, or freehand select? Ah, yeah, I can. Alright. See how that looks, if that feels a little bit better. It's okay, but I think when you only see it once. Yeah, it's probably a bot auto-posting on whatever stream. But it's still, you know, it's something that uses resources. Somebody must benefit from this. There must be people who click on these things. Alright. Okay, so one more time, I have to mention it. There is a video that came out just now, today, on this channel about timing. I'm really proud of it because I think it really shows the timing process that I really like. One of the timing methods, really condensed, really precise, a tutorial that came out today. So maybe you want to check that out, leave a like or comment. That would be awesome. And I think you can learn a thing or two about timing there, maybe, hopefully. So yeah, new video out today. And it would be awesome if you could check it out. And yeah, as always, there's always the option to help me make more on this channel. If you go to patreon.com/animatorisland, you can support me with a couple of euros. There also is the group mentoring, which is a live call that you can join with whatever you're currently working on. Can be a work in progress animation, can be a storyboard, just an idea, just something that you want to do, and we can plan together and think about how it could best be done. But yeah, if it is a piece of animation or art, I will annotate it, draw over it, highlight some stuff that you could maybe improve, and this way you can work on not only this current project, but you can also sharpen your skills. And we could also think about, exercises to tackle your weaknesses and bring out your strength in this group mentoring. You can check out more information about this on animatorisland.com/group mentoring. And it's a very lovely group there too. We have a couple awesome people joining the group call and also giving valuable input. And, occasionally we might have some guests there as the group grows, some guest animators. So it's really cool what is happening over there. Vinicius is doing the 51 animation exercises. That is cool. Yeah. You can always, if it's 51 animation exercises, I try to comment, like if I see you tagging me on Instagram, I should look more on Twitter more often or something. But, if you tag me with @AnimatorIsland on Instagram and post your 51 animation exercise video, I can have a look at it. And I always try to comment if I see one of those. There is also, you can write me emails. Let me see. Where is my email address? Here. Ferdinand@animatorisland.com. You can send a link to your 51 animation exercise and I try to get back to you. And maybe even talk about it on stream. I think that would be cool too, to talk about a couple 51 animation exercise submissions on stream. So if you sent me something, let me know in the email if you would be okay with me showing it on stream. Yeah. F2005. Do you ever get the bug on OpenToonz where it deletes the last drawing on the level? It happens when I stroke a line while it autosaves. Yeah, the autosave sometimes can do some really strange things. I'm exclusively working with vector layers and I can't say I have noticed this yet. Maybe that's a bug exclusively to raster layers if you're using those. It can always be worth reporting those bugs in the GitHub. If you look for OpenToonz GitHub, there's a tab with issues, and it's always worth to report the issues there because they have awesome developers there who look into these kinds of things. And the more precise your description is, the better. But it sounds like you've already narrowed it down pretty well, so that maybe somebody can fix it, so it's not in the next version of OpenToonz. Jackie says, I started dabbling in OpenToonz. I haven't done any animation since Flash CS3. Any obvious tips I should know? Well, if you're coming from Flash, there is not that classic symbol timeline. Like, you can't nest layers like this. You can't nest a layer inside a layer. You can still parent things together. You can still, if you are used to using motion tweens in Flash, I would look at how that is done in OpenToonz as well, because the OpenToonz curve editor and stuff is relatively powerful. We have a tutorial about this on Animator Island too, on this YouTube channel. If you look for keyframe animation in OpenToonz, that's a nice introduction to how to do that. It's like, the motion tweening in Flash, but you have a bit more control. It's a bit cooler. It's a bit more advanced than it was in Flash. Yeah, the vector tools have both of their own quirks. In Flash, obviously, this classic Flash vector line, you always knew that it was done in Flash, and you need to put in a lot of work so it doesn't show. OpenToonz vector tools also have a very unique feeling that takes some getting used to. There are a lot of people who prefer to draw in the raster, in the new Toonz raster layer instead of vector, especially if you're looking for pencil structures and stuff like that. That's worth checking out. Color linking is awesome in OpenToonz. That, you know, you can make a color palette even on the Toonz raster layer. I don't know how they do it in the bitmap layer. You can change the colors after you have filled them in. So if you decide that your character shouldn't wear a red t-shirt but a blue t-shirt, no problem. You can, if they are linked to the color palette, you can still change it. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, and I don't see any more questions if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's it for today. I'm looking forward to the stream in the beginning of August. We're gonna have a look at the 11 Second Club entries from this month. We're gonna see how they did with this month 11 Second Club prompt. We're gonna annotate some stuff and try what we can learn from the awesome submissions that people did to still this month 11 Second Club. Yeah. In Krita, it's horrible to draw in vector. I would like to have another look at Krita, but you know, Krita is definitely a bitmap brush tool. Like the bitmap brushes in Krita are amazing. That is the thing that it is specialized on. Yeah, Krita is probably best to use the brushes, the awesome brushes that you have in Krita. Yeah, you're welcome, Jackie. There's a really good video that came out today about timing. Did I already mention that? So yeah, if anybody could watch the timing video after this and leave me a like, that would be really awesome. I had a lot of fun today, as always, with you people in the community. Such an interesting chat today. Once again, I'm really proud of my community. I'm really proud of our little inner circle that we have here. I'm always looking forward to the next live stream with all of you. It makes me so happy. And yeah, keep on animating, work on your passion projects, and have a wonderful, fantastic day or night. Seeing you soon. Bye bye.